Who are the, I mean, most people know, but who are the Krays for some who don't know?
Blimey, the Krays. So Reg and Ron Kray, they were twin brothers who used to run the underworld of the East End of London back in the 60s. They consequently went on to murder. Reg murdered Jack the Hat McVitie and Ron murdered George Cornell. Reg murdered Jack the Hat in a basement, stabbed him multiple times in the eye, ended his life, and Ron went into a pub and shot Cornell dead in the head. If you've not seen the film The Krays, I would say with the Kemp brothers, that's probably the best film to watch to get an idea of the Krays if you don't know who they are.
See, I watched it in preparation of talking to you, just because I wanted to, not that it was going to be a big subject, but I wanted to have a look and all that. And you know what? It got such good reviews, but I feel like it's a bit dated now, you know, because I told you there's all these bits where they talk, because they're twins, they talk at the same time. And I thought, come on, that wasn't happening, you know.
I mean, I was too young to know them. I was born 1980. So the only time I've ever met Reg is when I was a kid and my dad would take me to visit him in Parkhurst and I'd smuggle him in a bottle of brandy or a bottle of whiskey because you didn't get searched back then. You know, you could get away with a lot more in jails than you can now. So I can't really comment on that, but I do know that they did have, I mean, I've heard audio tapes of Reg talking for hours and hours and hours about Frances, his wife, who ended up killing herself. She was on all sorts of downers, and Reg was an overbearing man, as you could imagine. But they definitely did have a weird relationship. It's said that Ron was in love with Reg. He was very jealous of Frances, as far as I know. But I don't want to talk like I'm a walking authority on the Krays, because I mean I've heard these. I mean I did hear these stories from Reggie's mouth on an audio tape, and I've heard my dad's version from Reg. But then again, my dad's a pathological liar, so I kind of question everything. But I think there's enough information out there on the Krays for people to make their own mind up. Some people think they're heroes, national treasures. Some people think they're paedophilic, psychotic animals that got all they deserved, and they spent all of their life in jail. They never got released. They died there.
Was your dad involved with them?
Very much so. Not in their heyday when they run the clubs and had the protection racket. It was when my dad went to jail for the first time. He bunked up with Reg Kray and they become inseparable, very close, openly said they loved each other. The Sun reported that they were gay lovers. They managed to sue the Sun for that. They managed to sue the Sun for that because there was no evidence to say that they were gay. And the next question will probably be, do you think that they were gay? I don't know. I'd love to say they were, because it would just get my dad's goat. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, I'll never know. But I do think Reg Kray was in love with my dad. He was this young, pretty blue eyes, blonde hair, singing. He was a showman, my man, as well. You know, he could have gone on to act, sing, dance, you name it. He could do it all. But his narcissistic tendencies got the better of him. Reg would introduce him to people like Roger Daltrey, Jules Holland, UB40. And my dad thought he was bigger than them all. He told Roger Daltrey to have some respect. Yeah. The Who presents. Yeah. Well, see the film that you watched?
Yeah.
I think it was Polygram that done it in the end. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. We're talking a long time ago. But what I do know is, because I met Roger Daltrey and all of them people that I said that my dad burnt his bridges with, the Who presents were going to do the Krays film. It was because of my dad's influence, they pulled the plug and said, fucking can't work with this maniac. He told Roger Daltrey on the phone, have some respect. Who do you think you're talking to? The lead singer of the Who, some Mickey Mouse arm robber, telling Roger Daltrey to have some respect. Perspective, Pete.
They used to chuck like TVs out of windows, didn't they?
Keith Moon was legendary for that.
Yeah.
I think he drove a Rolls Royce into a pool, didn't he? Or was that Ozzy Osbourne? I don't know.
It's all of them, wasn't it?
They're pretty wild.
All of them. They're all biting chicken heads off, aren't they?
Yeah, good old days. Oh, yeah. Bat.
Yeah, a bat.
Ozzy he bit a bat's head off.
Imagine doing that.
Only in China.
Yeah. What would you say to young Liam now if you could talk to him?
If I could speak to me, well, maybe if my son's watching, I'll say this to him, what I'd say to me. Keep going. Nothing lasts forever. If you're in a bad spot, it will pass. Rainy days pass. The sun soon shines through the clouds. Be a good son, be a good dad, be a good friend, be a loyal friend, be a man, be accountable. Don't shy away from stuff. Look after people that need looking after. Make sure you don't let anyone get bullied in your company, and be honest.
And then you're a man, my son. You say he's out in a year. Are you worried about that? Is he going to try and get back in your life?
He won't try and get back in my life. He'll try and sabotage my life because he's a creature of habit, and that's what he's done his whole life. Anything I've achieved, he's tried to, to piss on. He's tried to ruin it and destroy it. He's a very jealous, bitter, envious man as well. Again, me and him are very, very different in that respect. If I look at someone that's doing tremendously well, I want them to keep doing well. I want them to keep doing better. I don't, like a lot of people, they're happy you're doing well just as long as you're behind them.
Yeah.
For me, when I get my friends tell me I've just done this deal or I've just got this promotion or I'm building this business and they zoom past me, I'm like, keep going. Keep going. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't like anybody doing well. So he'll try and sabotage whatever I'm doing. I mean, the little bit of credibility he did have before he went in jail is completely gone. So he's going to struggle. There's a chance he's going to come out and kill me. I believe he's capable of that. And I think it would be his ultimate, I told you I was set up and I'm so angry about it, I killed my own son. I wouldn't put that past him. But I'm not scared. I'm not worried. If it's my time, it's my time. And this isn't like podcast bravado. I say it to my girlfriend quite often, I'm ready. And it's not because I'm an unhappy person. I've had the best life I could possibly imagine. I couldn't have asked for a better life.
But you'd be leaving your son behind.
That's true.
And your missus.
I wouldn't want to leave anybody behind.
Yeah.
But I'm ready. I mean, I put my head above the parapet on a lot of things. I do say and do things that could potentially put me in great danger. And if it's part of my tapestry and it happens, it happens. I've done a great deed by putting him away. And that is not some heroic ending to this interview either. I just mean it. If he comes for me, he better do a thorough job because this time I won't be so kind.
91% watching Heretics Clips are not subscribed. Quick favour, hit subscribe. Free, takes 2 seconds and helps us question everything together.